Thank you for joining us. You're watching the English News Bulletin. Let's take a look at our top stories.
Party leader calls for stronger ties with Belarus. Hungarian President pays state visit to Vietnam. And later on, leaders welcome Thai Prime Minister.
Vietnam wishes to expand multifaceted cooperation with Belarus, especially in trade. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng expressed the desire during his ongoing visit to Belarus.
During his talks with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko in Minsk on November 26, the Vietnamese party leader also affirmed that Vietnam treasures the traditional friendship with Belarus. The host said Belarus will facilitate the entry of Vietnamese goods into its market, especially from porridge, seafood, woodwork, garments and coffee. The two leaders agreed to continue increasing high-level visits and contacts and step up relations via diverse channels such as party, parliament, government, social organization and people-to-people exchange. Both consented to step up collaboration in education training, culture, sports and tourism, and terrorism and transnational crime combat, as well as to continue expanding relations in labor and vocational training. Regarding the issue, the two leaders noted their hope that the concerned parties will solve the disputes by peaceful means in respect for international law.
On November 27th, the Vietnamese party chief met with Belarusian Prime Minister Mikhail Miasnikovic. At the meeting, Miasnikovic said strengthening bilateral relations with Vietnam is one of priorities in Belarus' foreign policy in Asia-Pacific. He added that Belarus will consider increasing the number of scholarships for Vietnamese students, especially in the areas of art and culture and defense. Hosts and guests share the view that organizing Vietnam Cultural Days in Belarus and Belarus Cultural Days in Vietnam will contribute to boosting the friendship and mutual understanding between the two peoples. They reached consensus on boosting cooperation in employment and vocational training. Following the meeting, General Secretary Trọng and the Belarusian Prime Minister witnessed the signing of 3 cooperation documents, including the one on information and communications. During the Vietnamese party leaders' visit, the two sides issued a joint statement on consolidating and developing the friendship and comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and Belarus.
Hungarian President Ádár János is on a state visit to Vietnam. His visit aims to enhance all-round cooperation with the Southeast Asian country, particularly in trade, investment, education and training. Vietnamese President Trương Tấn Sang welcomed his Hungarian counterpart in Hanoi on November 27th. Vietnam and Hungary established diplomatic ties in 1950. Since then, bilateral ties have developed fruitfully. As of August 2014, two-way trade between the two countries reached $113.5 million. Currently, Hungary has 12 valid projects in Vietnam, capitalized at $47.3 million. Following the welcoming ceremony, the leaders held talks. President Ádár János affirmed Hungary considers Vietnam a traditional partner in the region. He said Hungary will open its consulate general in Ho Chi Minh City next year. President Sang called on Hungary to provide more official development assistance for Vietnam's projects on water resources, afforestation, waste treatment, and public health. Hosts and guests agreed to increase bilateral trade and facilitate operations by the two countries' businesses, particularly those in infrastructure, food processing and preservation, public transport, and environmental protection, among others. They also consented to further ties in education and training. On this occasion, the two leaders witnessed the signing of cooperative documents in agriculture, technology, information and communications, and securities.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng hosted a reception for the Hungarian President on the same day. President Ádár János said Hungary wants to cooperate with Vietnam in pharmaceutical production and support the country in water management, treatment and supply. He also said Hungary will have Vietnam in training personnel in nuclear power. The Vietnamese government leader proposed that Hungary supports efforts to speed up the negotiation for a free trade agreement between Vietnam and the EU so that it can be signed at an early date.
The same day, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng received the Hungarian President. The two sides expressed pleasure at the fine cooperation between the two legislatures over recent years. They expressed their hope that the exchange of delegations and experience sharing between the two legislatures will further enhance their partnership in the coming time. Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha is paying an official visit to Vietnam. The two-day visit is made at the invitation of Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng. Prime Minister Dũng welcomed his Thai counterpart Prayut Chan-o-cha in Hanoi on November 27th. Vietnam and Thailand established diplomatic ties in 1976 and upgraded their rapport to strategic partnership in 2013. Two-way trade hit $7.6 billion in January to September, a year-on-year increase of 11%. Following the welcoming ceremony, both government leaders held talks. Both sides consented to further boost the exchange of high-level delegations and realized their cooperation mechanisms, including those of Vietnam-Thailand Cooperation Committee and a working group on security defense cooperation. Vietnam highly valued efforts by Thailand in coordinating ASEAN-China ties over the past time, which helps maintain solidarity among ASEAN member states over the East Sea issue. Following the talks, the Prime Ministers witnessed the signing of 3 cooperative documents between the two countries.
The same day, President Trương Tấn Sang hosted a reception for the Thai guests. President Sang stated Vietnam will enable the two sides' ministries and businesses to carry out their cooperation programs effectively. The Thai Prime Minister stressed the need to work closely to build tours connecting the two countries' tourist destinations, as well as enhance their road and navigation connectivity. The guest expressed his belief that based on their traditional friendship, Thailand and Vietnam will coordinate with and support each other at international forums. On the same day, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng met with the Thai Prime Minister. During the meeting, both sides agreed to increase their sharing of experiences in lawmaking. They pledged to continue to support each other within the framework of bilateral and multilateral interparliamentary forums. They agreed that the national assemblies of both sides will increase their supervision of the agreements reached by the two governments, particularly those in traffic, agriculture, and investment.
Italian enterprises are particularly interested in pouring money into projects at industrial parks in Ho Chi Minh City, Dong Nai, and Bình Dương provinces. Chairman of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, Michel D'Ecor, made the remark at a business forum on November 26.
Italian investors are keen on various fields from engineering, energy, infrastructure and transport to support industry, garment and textile, Michael D'Ecor said. Additionally, Italian investors also eye to set up joint ventures with local businesses in the areas of science and high-tech manufacturing. The forum, which took place in Ho Chi Minh City, drew representatives of more than 40 Italian businesses operating in various fields. Participating in the event, Vietnamese businesses had a chance to update Italy's new technologies and equipment while seeking cooperation opportunities with their Italian partners.
Vietnam's trade surplus in the first 11 months of 2014 reached $2 billion, a $100 million increase over the figure recorded in the first 10 months of the year.
The General Statistics Office predicted that Vietnam would finish 2014 with a trade surplus and a large contribution from the foreign direct investments or FDI data. The office figures showed the country's export revenues reached over $137 billion, up 13.7% year-on-year. Of the total, 67% came from the FDI sector, including crude oil. Leading exports include garments and textiles, phones and components, footwear, and computers and electronic components. However, several traditional exports such as coal and rubber witnessed declines in either volume or value or both. The decrease was due to the sharp fall in wood prices. The country's import value reached nearly $135 billion, a 12.6% year-on-year increase, with the FDI sector accounting for more than 56.8%.
More than 200 photos depicting Vietnam's people and land are on display at a national exhibition in Đà Lạt City, the Central Highlands province of Lâm Đồng. We went along to take a look.
The works are selected from more than 6,700 entries submitted by amateur and professional photographers nationwide during a 5-month photo contest hosted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism. Of the total, over 1,320 photos captured Trường Sa or Spratly and Hoàng Sa or Paracel archipelagos, as well as Vietnam's sovereignty over its sea and islands. The biennial event is the highlight in the 2014 National Tourism Year of Tây Nguyên Đà Lạt. It will last until December 2nd.
A gala themed Vietnam, Paradise of Southeast Asia, was held in the Indian capital city of New Delhi on November 26, aiming to promote Vietnam's tourism in the country.
Vietnamese Ambassador Tôn Sinh Thành said Vietnam welcomed nearly 7.5 million foreign visitors last year and 6.6 million in the first 10 months of this year. However, only 30,000 Indians come to Vietnam annually, far fewer than the numbers of Indians who visit countries such as Thailand, Singapore and Indonesia. The ambassador said few Indian visitors come to Vietnam due to a lack of information on Vietnamese tourism market and direct air routes between the two countries. He expressed hope that things will change after the recent launch of a direct flight route linking New Delhi and Ho Chi Minh City, and with the plans of more direct flights between the two countries next year. Girish Sankar, Additional Secretary of Indian Tourism, said Vietnam is a pillar of India's look-east policy. India greeted over 12,300 Vietnamese visitors last year. Since 2011, it has applied visa on arrival procedures for Vietnamese citizens, with the aim of encouraging more Vietnamese to visit the country.
More than 7.2 million foreign investors arrived in Vietnam in the first 11 months of this year, up 5.4% year-on-year.
Of the total, over 4.3 million foreigners chose Vietnam as their holiday destination, up 4% year-on-year, while more than 1.2 million others came for business purposes, up 6%. The General Statistics Office data showed that the number of visitors from China's Hong Kong saw a year-on-year increase of 61.2%, followed by Germany, Russia and Spain. Last month, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism approved a tourism marketing strategy until 2020, focusing on both international and domestic markets. The strategy specified priorities for the country's tourism, including development of brands of unique and diverse products, such as cultural heritage, beaches, seas and islands, besides ecotourism. In 2013, Vietnam received 7.5 million international tourists, a 10.6% rise over 2012, contributing $9.4 billion to the state budget, or accounting for approximately 6% of the country's GDP.
And that has concluded our program. Thank you for watching. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.